See, are we on? Hey guys, this is Breaking Brian back with another live stream. This is going to be for Invincible, episode 4. And yeah, guys, what can I say? Um, this episode was a miss. I'll be honest with you. This might be one of the worst. This might be the worst Invincible episode yet. So yeah, that is saying a lot. Invincible is such a great show, and it is a shame that it has a terrible episode, in my opinion. All right, so let me see if I can invite Walker Dead Phoenix on. Let's see. Let's get the chat going, guys. If we can, please. Invite the voice. Hey, man. What's up?
Hey.
So, yeah, episode 4. Yeah, Kirkman, maybe it was a good idea to not do this in the comics. Like, Kirkman originally wanted to do this, but changed his mind in the comics, and then now is going back on it in the show. And yeah, episode 4, man, just it's not it,
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna do this in the comics, but it turns out he was right, because it's just like he put it in the show, and just like it's like no, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to just like stick when you do a show. Like, just sometimes it's better to just stick completely with the comics and don't add any filler storylines, even from the actual creator himself, which is crazy. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy.
I heard something about Invincible, that Invincible could go like 8 to 9 seasons or something like that.
Yes, which I don't agree with. I feel like Invincible should only be 7 seasons. You can't milk the franchise. That's not a good idea.
Right.
So yeah, like exactly. What is the problem with? Oh wow, this is interesting. Okay, yeah. So what is the problem with this episode? Well, first off, let's start with the plot and the story and all this. Just know the what was it called? The Underneath. That's the dimension it's called, where like it seems like it's hell, like the down place, but it's like no, it's actually not. It's actually not hell. It's not the afterlife for evil people or whatever, or where bad souls go. It's just a different dimension where there are beings of power, and they just happen to look like demons and stuff like that. And and there is a character named Satan too, and it's like, well, actually, that's not even real his name. That's what he is called mostly by humans, but he's not even Satan. Like, it's just. Have you guys seen Teen Titans? Like, Trigon is, you guys remember Raven's father, Trigon? Now, in my opinion, that is how you do the character of like a superhero universe that has like a Satan character. You know what I mean? In my opinion, that's how you do it. You know what I mean? Trigon definitely seemed like the epitome of doing that kind of character, whereas this episode just did not work. Plus, William's voice actor changed. If you didn't know that, Walker Dead, and it doesn't sound good.
Do that.
Yeah, they did. I don't know what happened.
Why would you do that? That makes no sense. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. There are moments where sometimes I wouldn't notice a different voice actor. But there are. And not just that, but Damien Darkblood was like, I don't know about you, but every time I hear him, I just think of Mr. Krabs. Like, he's a grumpy Mr. Krabs. And then Volcanus, the evil villain. I mean, as far as like female villains go, she wasn't the worst I've ever seen. Because she does have some moments where it's like, holy crap, she is kind of scary. She is kind of tough in certain moments. And fun fact, she's actually from Game of Thrones, the voice actor. But yeah, it's like, I guess what I'm saying is like, it's weird how like this episode, like I we can't even call it a bottle episode because it had the main character. It had Mark. Like it even had Eve and William and Omni Man and all that. So it's like, how is this episode a filler? You know what I mean? And yet it is. It kind of does feel like a real filler episode, unfortunately. Because, I guess Robert Kirkman wanted to expand on the Invincible world lore and all that. But I just don't think this was the right story for Mark. After killing, that guy, and then he's going to see his dad again. I just don't think it's a storyline that works. This episode. Like certain one episode storylines can go well, but this is just not one of them. I don't know. I guess like the characters in this episode weren't the best. You know what I mean? Um, like normally in
Hey,
this. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Simba.
I'm curious, like, how do you feel about an Invincible live action movie?
I'm very curious to see how that would go. I think it could be good, but it could be a problem because there's so much of Invincible you have to do. You would have to, you would have to do all of season one crammed into a single movie. Like that would be hard, you know. Like you have to make it work, you know. I think it could work, but you have to get rid of some storylines. Like the beginning of the movie, you got to, I don't know, you got to just like show everything is like nice and good superhero movie, and then at the end of the movie, like you have to show that Nolan is like the worst father ever, and he hurts everyone. Like, I don't know. It's just you have to make because you can't rush it.
Apparently, I was kind of wrong. Apparently, they want to do 9 to 10 seasons of Invincible. That's their plan to do close to 10 seasons.
Yeah, that's too much. Um, yeah, it's way too much. Could have been a choice before you start the campaign. Like,
Hey, Walker Dead.
Walker Dead, you there? Hold on. Josh,
Yeah.
hello. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Walker Dead.
Nah, Simba was trying to ask me something.
I
Yeah.
want to ask you, Walker Dead, like, how do you feel, honestly, that they want to do 10 seasons of Invincible?
I don't think it's necessary. I do believe if the show is going to get like a big span of seasons, I do think like 7, maybe 8 seasons. But after that, just don't do any more. Like, do I think the animated show of Invincible should get like 7 to 8 seasons? Yes, but do I think it should get like 9 to 10? No, because
Yeah.
I just don't want another, AMC's The Walking Dead where they milk, where you milk a certain, show or property. I'm like, no, there's no need for that.
Yeah, and not just that, but obviously, like, there's so many problems when you have a show go on for way too long. Like, even a cartoon or whatever, if you do 7 seasons, you really are entering that age of like, this is gonna suck. I mean, look what happened with The Walking Dead. Literally, they went into season 7. It just happens with any story or whatever show, cartoon. Once you hit that 7 season era, that's when it starts falling off. You know what I mean? Like, and then 8 too, that's even more likely to fall off. And then 9, 10, are you kidding me? Like, people are gonna hate it. It happens with every cartoon, every show, whatever. You do 7 seasons, and that's when the fall off point starts happening. And you keep going and going, that's when fans are going to start hating it. It happened with The Walking Dead. It happened with The Flash. It happened with, Arrow. It happens, okay? You can't go too far with cartoons and stuff. You just can't. Or live action shows. You just can't do that many seasons. You can't hit that. You can't be close to the double digits. The last storyline into 2 short seasons. It makes season 7, and then take a huge break, and then make season 8. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just did not work.
But
Um. So yeah, Walking Dead. You don't really have any thoughts like. Um.
I mean, like, what do you mean? Like on the episode as a whole, or?
Well, yeah, kind of. You haven't really mentioned that much.
I mean, to be fair, I was just letting you guys speak. I mean, what I thought of the episode was, I mean, here's the thing: the episode could have been better, but it wasn't. There's, in my opinion, I don't know about other people, but in my honest opinion, there was just like too much talking within the episode. Um, yeah, there's too much talking. The whole, oh, if it wasn't for such and such, people would be dead. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm sorry, but I disagree with this. I disagree with this story, and I understand now why Kirkman was against doing it in the comic, and since he tried it in the animated show, I'm like, well, it didn't work for the animated show, and so I don't know. Like, okay, Damien Darkblood, he was okay, but he was just, I don't know how to explain it. Like sure, he did have some scenes where like he was fighting, he was trying to protect his family, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I feel like this episode wasn't the right episode for Damien Darkblood, in my honest opinion. I mean, I get it. You want to make him a bigger character in the animated show since he wasn't really all that big in the comic. So that part I can understand, but I don't know. This episode just wasn't the episode for his character, and and this whole episode, being a filler episode, I'm like, no, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of filler episodes like this. And also, this is not how you do a filler episode. You don't just give us 3 good episodes with Invincible season 4, and then the fourth episode of the season is a filler. No, no, that's unacceptable. I'm sorry.
What did you think of the 2 minutes of Mark and Damien falling in the abyss, like just chilling and just like talking to each other for 2 minutes straight as they were falling, and Mark kept saying over and over again, "Why do you do that? Why do you take your helmet off every time you need to speak?" Like, it reminded me of the Spider-Man 3 Venom, the really bad Topher Grace. Like the Spider-Man 3 Venom, and because every time like Venom spoke, Eddie spoke, he removed his costume, his symbiote face, and it's like that really bugged me. It would like, and still does, after all these years. It's like what, like it's been almost 20 years, and I'm still like, yeah, that is really weird how he takes off his mask, every time to speak. And it's not just that. Like, it happens with a lot of characters. Like, anytime actors play a character with a helmet or mask, they need to speak. A lot of times they take off their helmet or mask or whatever, and it's like, why are you doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, you can talk with a helmet on. Like, it's not. I don't know, like that part. I don't know what you thought of it. Parts I found it funny, but then other parts I found it weird. Like, okay, why are they calling out this scene? Are they calling themselves out, or are they calling out people who do that? Where it's like, I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like 2 minutes of falling and Mark being like, what's up with the helmet? Like thing.
I mean, it was a funny joke, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, it's one thing to do the joke, but it's another to have it be like 2 minutes. No, just have it be a one short joke. That's it.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious. Is Robert Kirk a big writer in the Invincible show like he is in the comics?
I So yes, Robert Kirkman has a huge, unlike with AMC, Robert Kirkman has a huge, um, part in writing the Invincible show and making sure it's faithfully adapted with his, comic. Which I can respect. I can respect Kurtman for being like, hey, after, imagine Kurtman is like, whew, thank God you guys are so reasonable. The last couple of last idiots I had to deal with, like, let's just say that relationship worked out terribly, and they ruined my best comic ever. Like, like adapting it, like. So it's like, oh, I'm glad you guys are adapting this one and you're going to do it faithfully. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that. Like, I wonder if that's how Kerman reacted, where he's like, and to be fair, I still think Invincible is a faithful adaptation, even if this episode is bad in my opinion and has filler, because this was Kurtman's idea. You know, like they respected Kurtman's idea so much, they were like, okay, you will we'll do this episode you wanted to do in your comic. But in my opinion, if I was one of them, I kind of would have been like, are you sure you want to do this, Kurtman? Like, if I was one of the people in charge of, like, Amazon, the show, Invincible, I would have been like, if I was a showrunner or writer, I would have been like, are you really sure you want to do this, man? Like, this, because, like, this seems like I don't think this episode's going to hit hard, with the fans. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, again, this episode just it didn't work, man. I mean, was the action good? Was the small scene with Mark and his mom and Oliver good? Sure, but this episode didn't need to be. I'm sorry, this episode didn't even need to be an episode.
Yeah.
This episode didn't even need to be an episode. They could have just replaced this episode with another episode and we've been fine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
In my opinion, I just.
Yeah. Here's one thing though. At least it didn't make this episode 2, right? At least they didn't have episode 1 and then had this be episode 2, and then we get episode 3. Episode 2 for 3, and then episode 4 for. No, sorry. And episode 3 for episode 4. You get what I'm saying? Dragon Ball Radiant, thanks for coming, man. I think the helmet is an Iron Man joke. I don't know. I mean, it definitely works that way when it transforms, the helmet, Dragon Ball. But Iron Man does talk when he has his helmet on, so I don't know. Any thoughts on the scene where Mark gave up the blue suit? I kind of wish he didn't, but, it's whatever. Just because, like, Mark, I'll be honest, like, Mark's Invincible suit is still just one of the original suit. Is not. It's just the yellow and stuff. It really just doesn't look good as a suit. But Mark is, if he wants to wear it, that's fine. Generally good filler episode, but why do you need filler on a series that's already over? Wait, generally good filler episode? I didn't think it was a good filler episode. I just feel like you need more interesting characters. You need it to matter to the story more, and then, but why do you need filler? I mean, I do think you need some filler in a story. Like, even I did in Extinction. The problem is that it has to have interesting characters, it needs to have world building, and do character development, but here, I just don't really know what Mark did as far as character development. Also, I think Robert Kirkman said he meant for this to be in the comics, but never got around to adapting it. Yeah, you're right, Dragon Ball. Kirkman wanted to make the story in the comics, but never did. He probably had some sketches and notes, and then was like, you know what, I'm gonna put this in the show. But if I'm honest, if I was a writer, I would have been like, Kirkman, are you really sure about this? I don't think the fans are gonna love this. Like, it's just not. It doesn't seem like your best work, But yeah, I don't know. It's just like. I don't know. This episode, like, there are moments that are kind of interesting and make sense. Like, Mark and Damien falling for 2 minutes. Like, moments like that, I guess, are kind of interesting and funny. But then you have moments where Mark is fighting the giant dog, the demon dog, and they immediately cut to Damien's point of view when Mark throws them in the air, and we don't see anything. And it's like, what was the point of that? It's like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like what? Like, I don't know. and then it's just like what else? I I definitely think there was a bit of plot armor for those minor characters this episode, where it's like, okay, you killed off these minor characters, like multiple times already, and they're alive by the end, and it's like, okay, like I get that Mark and Eve are characters that need plot armor, but really, you gotta have these minor characters have it too. You know, it's so yeah, like it's just not the best episode. Also, that ending, man, with Eve trying to tell Mark that, at least Eve, my goodness, man, how crazy is it that Eve actually tried to tell Mark about you know what when Lori never tried to tell Rick it in the show? Like, isn't that crazy? Walker Dead.
Hey, Brian.
What?
So I'll be completely honest. I'm not the biggest fan of when characters have a plot armor in shows and stuff. Like that's one thing I cannot stand about The Walking Dead is how so many of the characters in that series now have just ridiculous amount of plot armor.
Yeah, because Angela Kang was absolutely terrified of killing off characters thanks to, Gimple.
And the
And
headphones play.
yeah, so she definitely, like, oh, actually, I was wrong. Mark and, wait, no, is it? No, Damien and Mark fell for, like, more, like, it was more like 2.5 minutes, but yeah. Anyways, about the plot armor. Yeah. So no, Angela Kang. It was pretty obvious after Scott Gimple became chief content officer. The worst chief content officer ever, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions. He just decided like, hey, we're not going to kill off pretty much anyone in The Walking Dead. We're going to keep around characters. Let me. I wonder if I should go.
Because remember, also, she got backlash from the headphone spikes.
Yeah, like it was pretty obvious that Angela Kang was scared. It was pretty obvious she was scared and didn't want to repeat a Gimple mistake. But like, that's a mistake too. If you don't kill off any characters, not even the minor characters, then it's like what are you doing? And not just that, but like
she was killing off the wrong characters.
Well, here's the thing. Part of me thinks that maybe she also didn't have a choice with who she killed off, because think about this for a second. Like, just think about this.
But she knew what she was doing, though.
But what if Scott Gimple told her that you can't kill off these characters? As chief content officer, what if Scott Gimple told Angela Kang that, like, hey, you can't kill off characters like Carol, or, Daryl, or Maggie, or Negan, or this, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. It doesn't matter if Gimple told her who to kill and who not to kill. She still killed the wrong characters. I'm sorry. There's no denying that. Like, really, you killing off, like, really choosing not to killing off someone from Amanda's group or a character from each community, which does happen within the Walking Dead comics. Like, really, like, the fact that she chose not to do that in the Walking Dead TV show shows to me that, she isn't this big Walking Dead fan as she claims to be. Okay? I don't care if Gimple said, oh, don't kill Daryl, don't kill Negan, don't kill Maggie. It doesn't matter. She still killed the wrong characters.
True.
And she still gave everybody a happy ending, despite, Eugene pulling the 360 and betraying the group back during season 7. And yet, when Rosita could have had a happy ending, she had Eugene get a happy ending? Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely just didn't make sense. All right, but back to Invincible.
So Brian,
yeah.
I think Invincible episode 5 will.
Yes. I definitely think that. I definitely think that.
Do you think episode 5 will be better than this one?
Yes, because we're gonna get back to Nolan and Alan and them, and we're gonna get back to the main plot. Listen, I don't like when they take side quests against the Viltrumite War. The Viltrumite War is coming. It has been coming for 4 seasons, building up to it slowly. And in my opinion, things like this, little side quests, they just don't make sense. They don't work. Um, I mean, I get what they said. Also, it's not just that, but like Volcanus said something about how she wants to invade the upper plant, like the surface, right? And she mentioned how she wants to invade the upper surface. But and then she also mentioned how like millions will die. But then she also said that we'll kill all the surface dwellers. And I'm like, you are aware there are billions of humans, right? Like there are moments like that where the script is like, okay, who wrote that? Someone should be fired for that, because it's like there are moments where it's just like, oh come on, like did anyone like do a rewrite of or reread of the script? Like I don't know, it's just one of those things that like just bogs my mind a little bit, and there are moments where it just I don't know, it's just I definitely think that if Kirkman wanted to do a filler episode that wasn't from the comic, he definitely needed something more than just Mark goes to just down below that's similar to hell, but it's not actually hell. It's just a place deep in the earth and all that. And it's just like I don't know. It just wasn't the story for me at all. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't really like it at all. Like if like as Mark, I kind of was like feeling for him a little bit, where it's like, dude, like I don't want to be here. I want to go. Like, and it's just like one of those things where I'm like, I feel you, Mark. I don't want to see this storyline. I don't, because it's just not something that like I feel makes sense. I don't know. I don't feel like it fits in the Invincible universe. Like think about it. Mark is like the Invincible War. Is that not Invincible War? The Viltrumite War is coming. Okay, and Mark is literally going deeper in the Earth's crust to a place that what most people like mistake for hell. And it's like, okay, this is not the story we should be getting to. It's not. Mark should be get on Earth or in space, not in the Earth's core. Like it's just not a story where you know what I mean? It makes sense. Like in my opinion, I just don't think it's the right story.
Right.
Hey Brian, do you have a favorite character?
That is tough because like I really enjoy a lot of characters in Invincible. Um, I guess like okay, so like I really enjoy Mark obviously, and I really enjoy Eve. I also really do enjoy Nolan. I enjoy Oliver a bit. I don't know. Having a favorite character is hard because like even though Mark is obviously the main character, Invincible does kind of feel like an ensemble cast. So yeah, yeah, I guess I don't have a favorite character, but I definitely have a group of favorite characters, like top characters, and obviously one of them, obviously one of my least favorite characters is it has to be Black Samson because no, like just what does he does nothing for the story. Like how is he a member of the Guardians of the Globe when remember Walker Dead? Remember when those aliens told Nolan and Alan about Tech Jacket? Like it's like whoa, you're telling me this race that hate Viltrumites and that almost got killed by some assassins they sent. You're telling me they're so powerful. You're telling me even they're like, yeah, you should go look for this person. This person's really good. Like if for your mission, that kind of is a big deal for me. Tech Jacket literally killed a evil Mark Viltrumite. So it's like you would think that like Tech Jacket would be a member of the Guardians of the Globe, but no, she's not. Like, it's just what? Like, I don't know.
Same thing with Wolfman too. Like, really?
Yeah, I totally agree, man.
Really? The fact that you still have Black Samson and and the guy with the guy with the white and the red suit. I'm like, you still have those two weak ass characters, and yet when it comes down to Tech Jacket or Wolfman, they're not on the team. F out of here with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Hey, DeRosa, thanks for coming, man. Oh my gosh, that demon episode was so filler. Yeah, it was. It was absolutely filler episode, man, and I don't like it. And yes, it had Mark, so technically it's not 100% filler, but it kind of is, because like I said, it's a storyline that is not gonna matter for like, gee, a while. Like, I don't think like Mark and them are gonna head off to space. There's probably gonna be a cliffhanger for season 4. You know, Mark and them are still in space or something like that. I just don't see how this storyline matters. By the way, the storyline wasn't in the comics; it was covered in the comics by Adjay Show. I know that. Love Conquest, man. Man just lives for the smoke. Yeah, he does. Yeah, Conquest. He's not my favorite character though, because he is obviously incredibly evil and psychotic. So Brian, we're not going to talk about Immortal. No, Immortal. Okay, Immortal has issues, yes, but here's the thing, though. There's Kate, obviously. Okay, so there was multi Kate and Immortal. Immortal has actually tried. He is a failure. He has problems, but he's been alive for a long time, and he has tried to fight. He has done his best. He has done some things. Obviously, he's failed a lot of times, but he's done some good. You know what I mean? He's done some progress. He's done some things in the story. He messed up Nolan twice, at least twice. Made Mark realize that, like, hey, maybe I should kill people, like, once in a while. Like, he pushed Mark to his limit kind of thing. Like, Immortal has done stuff as a character, and he mentions, like, hey, I'm done with the Guardians. Here's the thing, though. Immortal retired from the Guardians because he was just done. He was sick and tired of dying all the time and whatever, so he left. I can kind of understand where he's coming from in that. With Black Samson, besides being injured by Battle Beast, he's never had any suffering or sacrifice with the Guardians of the Globe. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, like Immortal was also the strongest of the Guardians of the Globe before like Omni-Man killed them all. So, you know, he had his moments. You know, he was something. You know, it's just that you know he's just not the top dog anymore, obviously, and like he fell out. Like what I'm trying to say is that Black Samson was always lame. He was TV Tyrese to a T. Like literally, he literally was TV Tyrese in the Invincible universe. But Immortal was different. Immortal started out as a pretty good guy and just fell off a lot because of all the deaths he's had to endure and all that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna say. You get what I'm saying? Like Immortal did sacrifices. He was the top guy, but he fell down so far, like so hard. Whereas Black Samson literally never hit his peak. Like, he never once was an interesting character, or, you know, like, pretty good character. Like, he never really hit that peak as a character. Alright, so, yeah, go ahead, Simba and Walker Dead. And what do you guys want to talk about?
So, Brian, was there anything good that you liked in the episode?
Yes, I did like, the ending when it ended, you know, because we got to see Mark, you know, Eve, and then the stuff like that, you know, and then Nolan and Alan come back. It was very different because Walker Dead. I believe in the comics, Nolan is just automatically, he literally is in their house, like he just showed up out of nowhere. Also, my goodness, man, Cecil really needs. Wait, what?
Walker Dead left for some reason.
Oh, never mind.
But yeah, like I said, like I know that you a big fan of this episode because of how filler it felt. I'm just curious on if there's anything in the episode you liked.
Yeah, there was just a couple things. The 3 minute scene of Mark and Damien Darkblood falling down the hole. Like literally they're falling thousands of feet, and they're just like very calm about it, like just like waiting, like like super chill, like just being like, oh, we're still falling. Hey, why do you do that with your helmet? Like, and they're like, what are you talking about? He's like, that you're doing like moments like that kind of remind me of Dispatch, where it's like, it's like, the sarcasm and the jokes are kind of funny here and there. So I did like that, and let's see, yeah, so I did like that, and not only that, I did like the ending, but I shouldn't like an episode for two very minor things. It's just, I don't know. That's just not a good idea. The story has to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
the plot. I didn't like the plot. I didn't like the majority of the cast this episode. Um, it just didn't work for me. All right, man. Oh yeah. By the way, I want to say thank you so much again for watching season 3, episode 1 of my Extinction series. Glad you liked the premiere.
A really great episode.
Thanks, man. Season 3, episode 1 takes place um, during like season 5 or 6 of the prison. Sorry, not prison, of the Walking Dead main show. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But yes, yes. So it the time so there's been a year time skip between season 2 and 3. So yeah, the characters like now are older. Benjamin is now 20 in season 3. So yeah, I did another season time skip.
See, that's what I really like about your show so far is that you really do the time skips. Like you do them smart, you do them sparingly. You're not like AMC where they freaking like the time skips in AMC are just so horrible.
Yeah, there are going to be more time skips though. And here's one reason I did it. It's because when I was writing Extinction, I thought of, hey, if this actually got adapted into a TV show, how can I have it make sense as far as, because remember, Sean, right? He is now 13 in the story, and Rachel's siblings, Tyler and Rebecca, they're 14 years old. They're just 1 year older than Sean, and Rachel is now 18. The way I created it was, hey, if this is a TV show, if AMC or Amazon or whatever, if they adapt this in live action, how would I go around the whole child actor aging thing? You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want to say like, oh yeah, there's no time skip between this season and that season. Like, you know what I mean? Or like in this time, like, oh no, there wasn't a time skip or whatever. The way I do it is, no, between the seasons there is a time skip of a year for the characters and for the audience. So that way, like, let's say the actor, let's say the actors for the kid characters grew up a lot in 1 year. I would establish that, like, yeah, that's what happened. They grew up just like the characters and the actors. You know what I mean? Like, I do the 1 year time skip to kind of like add that in of like, you know what I mean? Like how like it would be like, if it was a TV show, I put that in. Whereas, good lord, I still will never understand this. Why did Scott Gimple make season 4 to 8 all in the span of like less than 3 months? All four of those seasons. Wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's 5 seasons actually. Never mind. Seasons 4 to 8 is actually 5 seasons. It's
Because
like
that is one thing I could not stand about Carl in The Walking Dead is the fact that like by season 8, like like yeah, season 8, Chandler Riggs was literally as tall as Andrew Lincoln, but he was supposed to be like what, playing a
14.
15-year old, I'm pretty sure, 14-year-old, and
Yeah,
yet he's towering over Andrew Lincoln.
yeah. Go back and watch season 4 again and look at how tall Carl is to Rick. and then say that, oh yeah, and then season 8 is only like 3 months later.
And I'm really thankful in your series you don't have crap like that.
Yeah, no, the kid characters are like they're not gonna grow up like unrealistically like that, where it's like, hey, how'd you get so big in like literally a short amount of time? No, I don't do that because that's stupid. Like, you know, hold on, man, let me read the chat. So Brian, we're not gonna talk. Oh no, no, Brian. Mark can't even get us. Wait, Mark can't even sniff a break in this universe. Yeah, Mark cannot get a break at all. Like it's just, oh, we need your help for this, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, are you legitimately kidding me? Like, you brought me here. Like, it's just unbelievable. You know, like if I was Mark, I'd be super pissed off at Damien, where I'd be like, this is not just like you suck, man. You really suck for doing this to me. You know, like like bringing me in your story, your plot, whatever. Love The Walking Dead, but it's so dead right now. Well, that's why it's called The Walking Dead, DeRosa. It's literally still walking even though it's dead. AMC are not willing to give up that franchise. They want to milk it for a million years. So yeah,
It's like I mentioned before. Oh, like 7, 8 years ago, there used to be Walking Dead merch everywhere. It used to be so store. It used to be like you could buy Walking Dead merch like very easily, but now Walking Dead merch is just non-existent.
yeah. Hey Simba, check this out. Watch, you ready? Okay, I'm gonna post this. Watch
Uh,
in the chat. Watch. Look at this, right? Watch,
uh,
right? Okay, hold on. Get get ready. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Just no, right?
I'm so glad you don't do that crap in your series.
Yeah, because like I said, the way I wrote Extinction is I put in the back of my head, hey, if this is ever animated into a live action show, if AMC ever came to me and were like, hey, your extinct, I know it's a dream, but your Extinction idea is so good, we want to make it a show, I would be like, I'm not gonna just give it up. You got to well, first off, I would milk it obviously and be like, oh, so you can't write, so you need a fans. You need a fan story to fix your crappy universe because like you destroy The Walking Dead. So you need. But anyways, yeah, I was gonna say something like if I was to do something like that, I would be like, oh, I need complete control over the show, and you cannot milk any of the characters. You can't do any spin-offs. You can't use any of the characters or any of the settings or whatever I create in it for afterwards. Because I told you, right, Extinction's only 5 seasons, and eventually the final 6th season will be coming out when Zootopia 3 comes out. So like you know what I mean? Like it's not a series I plan to milk, you know?
Yeah.
Let me check. What's your thoughts on the possibility of an animated Walking Dead TV show? Great question, DeRosa. And keep them coming, by the way, please. And thank you, man. I appreciate you sticking by. So, an animated Walking Dead show, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. And there's a couple of reasons why. There's a couple of reasons why we're not going to get an animated Walking Dead show. One, it would literally AMC don't make animated shows. I don't think they do. Like I'm pretty sure they just don't do that. Like it's not something they do. They love live action shows. They love it. They love it. They're obsessed with it. Like Gimple and Fat People. Like they just love it.
I
So,
think what he meant. I think what he meant was if a different company made a Walking Dead animated show. I think.
I can't think of that because it's not possible. AMC have the right. They're the only ones that have a right to make an animated Walking Dead show because Kurtman gave them the infinite rights of the Walking Dead universe in terms of television and games. They don't own the comic. They have the rights to adapt it and use inspiration, stuff like that. But as far as games and TV shows, that is all on AMC's. That is all in AMC's court. And we know AMC is not going to make an animated show. We know Gimple is not going to admit that the live action Walking Dead universe sucks because he ruined it. He won't admit that he's a terrible chief content officer. And if he makes an animated show that's going to admit that, yeah, my live action Walking Dead universe, the TV universe, sucks. You know? So.
What about Skybound?
Skybound can't do it either. Yes, they have the rights to the comics in terms of the comic sales and all that, but they don't have rights to make a TV show. Skybound doesn't make. They can't make a TV show. You know what I mean? They don't have the technology. They don't have the rights to they don't have the television rights to The Walking Dead. You know, that's the problem. It's AMC that have the television and game rights to The Walking Dead. And by the way, we criticize The Walking Dead main TV universe. How about the games? Like, the AMC has put out so much crap for The Walking Dead games. Let's be honest. Like. You know, like, it's just, oh my goodness, like, AMC not, like, we ran about AMC with the TV universe, but how about the games, man? Like, geez, AMC couldn't make a good Walking Dead game if somebody dangled Scott Gimple, in the sky. Like, if Mark flew Scott Gimple upside down in the sky, like, yeah, Gimple, with his life depended on it, even they couldn't make a good Walking Dead game to save him. But yeah, I just So Simba, why do you think gosh, man, so I forgot. You've seen all of Dispatch, right? I just forgot about it. If you have, it's been a few months.
I've seen Walker Dead's gameplays of it. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it like crazy how like Ad Hoc was able to make a great game that didn't exist? Like, the Dispatch universe is not from a comic. It's not from anything. It's literally just a universe they simply created, and already they made a fantastic game. Like,
Yeah, and then Telltale completely failed at giving us a game.
well, actually, no, Simba, they didn't fail at giving us a game. They gave us a game, The Expanse. It's just that they absolutely and horribly and utterly failed giving us a good game.
I was talking about Wolf Among Us 2 mainly.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's fair. But yeah, also, that's so weird. A new game, a new Expanse game is coming out, but it's not from Telltale. It's called Osiris Reborn. Huh. That's weird. That is so weird.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what?
That Expanse game from Telltale was such a flop.
Dude, I look up the Expanse game, which obviously, you remember it came out 2 years ago. There's barely any videos on it. And so many people are talking more about the new Expanse game that's coming out. Like, you go on YouTube and it's like, yeah, this new Expanse game, this is gonna be the stuff, Whereas with Telltale, like, their Expanse game was like, what the heck were they thinking? Like, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
they promised the fans The Wolf Among Us 2. And what happened? They lied to us. They went back on their word again and lied to the fans, broke our trust, and were like, no, we're doing The Expanse first. And what happened? Nobody bought The Expanse. I mean, except Don the Bomb. He was probably like the one person who bought it. Like,
And yeah, apparently Wolf Among Us that game restarting development this year, because apparently this year that game restart development. That's a joke. That's a complete joke.
Yeah, it is. They're lying. They're completely lying. Why would they need to completely restart um, the whole game from scratch? That doesn't make sense, right? Like it makes no sense. Because to me, that just tells me you guys didn't even try.
Yeah.
I can't even. Let's be real. Scott Gimple is the real villain of The Walking Dead. Oh, he is, man. Absolutely. By the way, I went on a reaction video of the episode where Noah dies, and I put in the comments how I put this in the comments how yeah, no one will be able to convince me otherwise. I said in the comments, Noah's death what it is so racist was so racist of Scott Gimple. No one will convince me otherwise. And there have been moments where people agreed on me, and I got a couple likes on it, and where it's like, oh yeah, like people legit, uh, they kind of felt the same way, I gotta do a couple
Well,
of
I'm
comments like that, but yeah, go ahead.
well. I mean, think about it. He killed off three black men characters in one season: Bob, Tyrese, and Noah.
And they were part of Rick's group. Think about that too. It's not just three black guys. It was three black guys from a single group. You know, it's like, Gimple, what are you trying to say? Oh, I know what you're trying to say, because you're bringing in Morgan in, and there can only be one black guy. And then Angela Kane comes in, and she's like, hey, I'm going to fix Gimple's mistake. I'm going to have 8 black guys in the show. But she has like 2 white guys. She has like 2 white guys. It's like, Angela Kane, that's too much. Like, now you're trying to get rid of white people in the show, in The Walking Dead. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, Gimple, you're a sexist racist. And Angela Kane, you're you're a white hating feminist. Like, come on. Like, they're like 2 sides of the same coin. Like, they're literally Gimple is heads and Angela Kane is tails. Like, like, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
Like, gosh, why can't they just get it right?
Probably because they're morons.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. What else?
Like at least you and Walker Dead, you guys know how to write.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Um, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, this is really easy. Like, super, super easy. All you have to do is just write, you know, like, all you have to do is write, like, hey, what would the fans like this? What would we like to see in the Walking Dead universe? Do we like it? Would the fans like it? What's that? The fans would love this? Okay, then let's put it in. Like, it's really not that hard to be a fan of a universe and then be like, okay, well, the fans like it. Well, we like it. And it's like, this is what The Walking Dead, would the fans like it because we like it? Well, I think so. And that's what they do. Whereas with so much of The Walking Dead, as we know, they just write it and don't like it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they write things in The Walking Dead that, like, I legit don't believe they even rewatch or don't like themselves. They just think of, oh yeah, the fans will like this. And it's like, are you sure? I don't know. What, you expect me to re-look at it? I just used ChatGPT. I just went by my first draft. It's like what are they doing?
Now, like I said, I think it's kind of like it really amazes me that you and Walker Dead are way better writers than Gimple or AMC or anyone at AMC. You're way better writers than them.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think simply it's just a matter of fact of, hey, when you're writing a story, maybe think of, hey, are the fans gonna like it? Do we like it? Maybe we should test it. You know, maybe we should see if like this is something we want in the Walking Dead universe. Is it good? And what's that? It's not? Well, then, gee, let's not do it, because we shouldn't be idiots. Like, if the writers themselves, if the writers are not fans of the universe, if they don't like it, what they're putting out, then why would they make the fans try to like it? Like, it's just so stupid. Like, Scott Gimple is a huge moron.
Now, I do believe that back in season 4 of the main show, he did job writing that season. Because I still, to this day, believe that the way Herschel went out was like probably the most impactful death I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, like he was good in moments like that, but it's just a shame, that like he just failed through it so much. Where it's like, dude, Gimple, what are you doing? Like, you had such great moments in the show with your writing, and then you just like put out all this crap, and it's like, well, what are you doing? Like legit, like, it's so bad. It's so stupid. Are you even trying? Like with season 8 and 7 and 8, it's like you watch it and you're like, there's no way you can be trying, Gimple. There's no way you could legit like think, yeah, this is great storytelling. Carl dying, so poetic, like so beautiful. It comes full circle. No, it didn't. You were gonna kill off Morgan in season 8, you hack. Like,
And me personally, like season 7, I really don't know who to blame for season 7. Like I know the writing in season 7 was god awful. I know that 7 was just mainly like all bottle ups. So like me personally, I like all the bottle ups season 7. I do blame AMC for that.
yeah.
But like the writing for season 7, like I'm pretty sure you can blame Gimple for how season 7 was written, because that's one of the worst seasons I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's one of the worst seasons, and that's why I don't think Invincible should go past season 7. Like, like there's no escape. It needs a season 7 because there's just too much comic material to go through. Because remember, Invincible is Kirkman's second big series. Besides The Walking Dead, Invincible is Kirkman's second gem of a comic. So there's just no way that you can get all of Invincible done in 6 seasons. You need at least 7, But 9, 10, no, that's just milking it. But yeah, but they definitely need to do, like, there's some moments where it's like, yeah, you're not gonna have, you don't have a choice. You got to do 7 seasons of Invincible at least, because there's too much material to go through. But like I said, overall, try to never, in cartoons, in stories, whatever, try to, in my opinion, like Better Call Saul did it too. Breaking Bad ended in 5 seasons. Breaking Bad, so Breaking Bad ended in 5 seasons. Better Call Saul ended in 6. And then you have terrible shows like The Flash and Arrow. Flash went on for like 9 seasons. Arrow went for like 8. And it's like, oh my goodness. Like, I have watched both shows. I never finished Flash, but I finished Arrow. It's a terrible show. With Oliver, Green Arrow. It's a terrible show. Like, it's just not good. There are moments.
And sure, SpongeBob, that's my childhood show. I grew up on SpongeBob. Like, even that show is like, has gone for 14 seasons.
Yeah, and obviously, as you're aware, SpongeBob kind of fell through a lot in the later seasons. Like once we started getting in that like 7, 8, 9 era, it started falling out big time, and I mean big time. Fans were like, "What is going on? You're torturing Squidward every episode brutally. You're having SpongeBob be super extra annoying for no reason. Like we know he's annoying. That's how his character is. But his annoyingness has a reason. It has a purpose to it. You know, regardless of SpongeBob being annoying, he's never selfish. Patrick is stupid, but he's not a sadist. And then all of a sudden they make Patrick a sadist, and it's like, what are you guys doing to the characters? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how you like the show just fell through so much, and it's just so bad. Like even SpongeBob had it, so it's just like one of those things where it's like, listen, they needed to stop this, because it's quite clear the writers couldn't handle it. It doesn't matter what story it is, as if it's a cartoon, a live action show, animated show like Invincible. You can't do cartoons and shows. You can't get into the double digits and you know expect it to be amazing because it's just not going to work. You're going to get some new writers in those later seasons and they're going to be awful. And then they're going to ruin the characters. They're going to ruin the characters and like it happens. Like it happened with Game of Thrones. It happened with Walking Dead. It happened with Arrow and Flash. It just always happens. You know what I mean? They're just
Because like that's what I've noticed about about the TV shows I'd watch, especially The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. Like I'd always kept noticing that like whenever they get to season 7, season 8, like the show would every time they'd reach those seasons, the shows would start to suck, and I'd always wondered why.
yeah. It's two things. One is obviously it's just an unfortunate bad luck thing of storytelling. When you get like there's something about season 7, 8, the number 7, 8, 9, 10. There's something about that number where it's like, yeah, it's gonna suck for the TV show because it's just not gonna work. Um, you know what I mean? And then also it's because they get writers that suck. It happens.
Agreed.
Um, all right, let's see. The chat is not going. Guys, I'm going to be ending the chat in a little bit. 10 more minutes and I'm ending the stream. All right, so do you have any questions, Simba?
Because I'm sorry, season 8 of The Walking Dead, like All Out War in The Walking Dead, in my opinion, was beyond terrible. It was done so terrible, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was. Like, what was Gimple thinking? Hey, I'm going to milk All Out War. I'm going to... Well, first, it's like, think about it. He milked All Out War. He killed off Carl. He made the group despicable. Like, everyone. Daryl, Rick, all these characters. Morgan, obviously. You know, all these characters were just so like, oh, what are they doing with the characters? We're supposed to be rooting for our characters, not wishing they died because they're committing war crimes. Like we're supposed to be like on their side in this war, and then Gimple's just like, hey, you know, it'd be cool. How about I show Rick and them doing bad things, whereas Negan and them don't do anything bad throughout the whole war. Think about that for a second. All Out War, the season where finally the group gets justice for Glenn and Abraham, and they do bad things to the saviors. Whereas,
Like a perfect example of that is that I'm pretty sure in season 8 was that when Rick and Morgan got captured by the saviors, and yeah, they get captured by the saviors. I think it's by Jared. His like they get captured by Jared, and then Rick and Morgan, they get set free. Jared dies, and Rick literally and Saviors saved Rick, and Rick fucking kills him anyways.
Yeah.
He saves their life, and he still kills him.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't do that with the main character we should be rooting for. You just don't do it. Um, you know what I mean? Like, you made us hate Rick in All Out War. You made us mad at Rick, feel like we don't love him anymore. I'm just saying that, like, you don't do that. Fun fact, Simba, I have an All Out War in my Extinction series. There is an All Out War storyline. But I feel like I do it better than AMC. I'll let you be the judge of that when you get to that storyline. But yeah, you can't just finally get to the war and then all of a sudden. And by the way, Daryl crashed a truck into the sanctuary and the walkers came in. He killed women and children. Like, you expect me to ever forgive Daryl, ever love him again, his character, ever trust him, ever side with him, ever root for him ever again after that? No, no. Like, just no. Thank
And
goodness.
oh yeah, isn't it Daryl's fault the Saviors went back to Alexandria and bombed it?
Yes, yes, that was well established because they all joined together. The workers, the soldiers, they all joined together to fight Rick's group. Before, the workers didn't want to fight. Now they did because of Daryl's stupid decision. And because the walkers got in through the front door, the Saviors were able to go around through the back. Now they had an opening. You know? They let the walkers in, and they were able to get out through the other way. Because now the walkers were all coming in, entering from one direction. So yeah, Rick's plan was to keep him trapped. Daryl screwed it all up. Thank goodness a show like House of the Dragon is only 4 seasons. I heard it's only 4 seasons, Josh. But the problem is that they take 2-3 years to make a new season. Like, that is not good. Like, you shouldn't take 2+ years to make another season. That's just way too long. Because the fans kind of forget it. Like, you do 8 episodes and then you make fans wait 2 years. Invincible did it before, but that's forgivable because it's animated. With House of the Dragon, is just not. It's just, yeah, no. Plus, House of the Dragon is meant to make the fans forgive Game of Thrones for the horrible ending. Invincible taking years to do a new season, that's understandable because Invincible never burned the fans like Game of Thrones did. Yeah, go ahead, Simba.
So in a way, because Daryl kind of is the reason why Alexandria got bombed, like in a way, he got even more innocent people killed.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Um,
I'm sorry, like Daryl in season 8, I couldn't stand his fucking character. Nate, like my god.
oh no, you're absolutely right. Daryl's character absolutely sucked in season 8. He was garbage. He was a horrible person, a horrible character. He sucked. Um, so yeah, like that's what I'm talking about, man. That's how AMC works. They're like, hey, we're at season 7 and 8. We gotta change up the characters. We gotta do this and that. That's why Daryl should have died in season 7. They didn't know what to do with his character. So they made him absolutely terrible. And then Daryl's like, Rick, you were right. And then Rick's like, no, you were right. Really? Are you kidding me? And let's remember how they ended all that war. They had Negan and Rick chase each other around the tree like 5-year-olds.
Well, see, that's what I liked in the comics, in All Out War in the comics, is that Rick in the comics actually he kind of like he suffered consequences for sparing Negan because
He broke his leg.
Negan in the comics they broke his freaking leg.
Exactly. There was a consequence to Rick sparing Negan. Um, there was a huge consequence to it, and Rick had to live with it for the rest of his life. Whereas the show, they pull a Mary Sue moment where Rick just cuts Negan's throat or whatever. By the way, let's remember what happened Rick used the death of his own son to make Negan let his guard down. To say, for Carl, in Carl's memory, give me 5 seconds to talk. Or whatever. That destroys Rick's character too. Doing that for Rick's character, using his own dead son that Rick indirectly got killed. Because remember, Rick did indirectly get Carl killed. He chose to let Sadiq die. He chose to scare him off, even though Carl was trying to help him. And Carl couldn't live with that. He wanted to help Sadiq. He didn't want Rick to once again let somebody die out there in the wilderness. It's just not right. It's not what Lori would have wanted for him. For Carl. And Carl got bit in a stupid way. And you know what I mean? It's just like that's not Rick indirectly got Carl killed with his decisions, with the war and all that. And because of that, he used Carl's memory to make Negan let his guard down so he can cut his throat. No, that destroyed Rick's character. When Rick died in season 9, I'm like, wow, I'm impressed, but I'm also not too broken up because, like I said, after season 8, I just felt like they destroyed Rick's character, where I'm like, even though I was enjoying him in season 9, I felt like, yeah, like, there was no going back for Rick's character after season 8. Like, so that fake death was like, I thought that was like where it would work for his character.
And it's funny you say that because I know there was a moment in season 9 where Rick visits Negan in his cell, and then Negan mentions Carl, like he mentions Carl's name, and Rick was like, "Don't you ever say his name."
Yeah, imagine if Negan said, "Oh, you mean don't say Carl, 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 Carly, Carly, Carl." Like, imagine he said that, and just like, "What are you gonna do, Rick? Shoot me? Go ahead, Carl, Carl." Like, that would have been a funny scene. Like, because like, imagine Negan's just like, Rick, I know you're too much of a chicken to kill me. Like, if you were gonna do it, you would have done it. It's like, oh man, that would have been a funny scene. But yeah, hey man, I have to go now. Do you have any last minute questions, or comments? Like, I gotta go now. I'm ending the stream.
So I do have, and in my opinion, that's kind of another thing that kind of sealed Carl's fate or got him killed definitely in season 8 is the fact that Rick went back to the I'm sorry, this will forever be this idiotic thing that Rick has done in the show, going back to the Junkyard Group after they freaking betrayed him.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Rick going back. Rick was never like, Rick makes mistakes, but he's never been stupid. And season 8 Rick is one of the stupidest characters in the Walking Dead franchise. Like, it's insane how stupid Rick is. Daryl's stupid too in season 8. It's insane. Like, how the characters just got so stupid. Like, they just became so stupid in season 8. Like, like, Rosita was stupid in season 7, and then everyone else got stupid in season 8. Like, it's insane. All right, man, I gotta go now. But yeah. But thanks for coming, man. Thanks for hosting it with me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me with the stream. Like I said, also, even though this was an Invincible stream, it was mostly Walking Dead. This just was not an episode I enjoyed. Unfortunately, it just this episode wasn't it. Like, this is definitely the worst episode of Invincible. There were some moments I did like, but yeah, it's like. It's not Kurtman. You should have stuck with your original. Like, hey, I was not going to do this story. You had the right idea the first time. Like, you know what I mean? All right, guys, I'm going to be ending the stream. Thank you so much, Simba. I will see you all guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Mm-hmm.